Welcome back to another episode of Soulmate Play. Today we have Jaque Jeanne here with us. She's a really special guest, a good friend of mine that we've known each other since high school. And it's just been such a pleasure working with her. She has an immense amount of history doing theater, doing our local community theater back in Kona where I'm from. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jaque. Jaque, share something about yourself.
Gosh. Well, that was already like a sweet intro, so thank you. I go by Jaque, she, her, it, ho, whatever, you know, like I'll take whatever you need to call me, but I'll answer. Grew up in Hawaii with the stunning Shannon Wong, and we, went all different ways. I love it. I've been a theater kid for my whole life. I've always loved musicals. I've always loved singing and dancing and performing anywhere I can. I was that kid that, like, if I saw like a hill that had a perfect flat level, I was like, this is a stage. And it's like, this is it. It's time. I went to college to do theater and early childhood education. I moved back home for a little bit during like pre-pandemic and then during the pandemic, and became an education director, drama program director for different schools and programs and studios. So I really learned to like hone my own theater experiences and really share resources and share like progressive modern theater that is inclusive and diverse and just unique to the arts. So I learned how to kind of do that out there in Hawaii, and then a couple years ago, like in 2022, so like 3 years. So long ago. It already flies by. But it just like kind of kicked. It was like, it's time to come back to New York, time to audition, time to get back in the events and the fun and challenge myself. So here we are. That's my story. That's where we are in the theater world. That's my little theater background. Been doing the arts, been performing my whole life, always singing around. I make the joke that I am not allowed to have kids because I will become Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. I will literally like bust into song and like all of it. So I've always been a musical kid. I get called extra a lot. That was the thing growing up, and you know, people would be like, oh, like you're a lot, right? You're a lot, you're extra, and it was just a lot. And I found that theater was the place that you can be extra, and like it's kind of necessary to be extra. You know, it's to share that truth in the most like extra circumstance. So it's fun to like apply, you know, all of that to the arts. That's that ramble.
Love that.
That's that ramble.
So I do have a question for Jaque.
Please.
I was wondering because, you know, Doug and I are very new to theater. This is his first play that he's written, and this is the first play that I've acted in. And so I always wonder, you know, for people who do have experience doing shows in the past or have like a theater background, like how does it feel working with us, and like how is it different? Like I really am curious for every person in the Soulmate cast. I like want to know this.
I mean, it's definitely a learning experience. I feel like it's a collaborative learning experience for sure. There's been a lot of opportunity to really like take each other's techniques or take each other's styles, take each other's like experiences and perspectives, and really just create something together.
So that's like a
I feel
different
like
feeling.
It's been like I love collaborating, and don't get me wrong, I collaborate with a lot of people and a lot of shows, but like it's been a very unique learning experience of like almost incorporating my educator side with it, of like supporting how can we make this production shine in a new light, and like how can we make this shine with the experiences that we all have as artists, and how do we make that shine in New York, because LA and New York, people very much know, are very like polar opposite, and it's like how do you make those audiences, you know, vibe with it. It's been so fun though. I'm obsessed working with the Shannon Wong. No, I'm literally like so happy that we got this opportunity. It's like the weirdest full circle moment, and I love it. Of just like how we both went in these beautiful directions, like towards things that really called to us, and still full circle. Here we are, still doing them and crushing it, and like living our dreams to the fullest extent. And I love that for us. So like I think that's been like a really cool experience to see and like be a part of here, of us like growing together in this field, you know, and seeing you shine, like a proud mom moment of just like, look at you grow, like look at you shine, you know, the Linda Belcher mom mode of like, she's doing it, you know.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wanted to touch on it a little bit because we haven't had Jaque here doing the podcast with us before, but Jaque did add so many elements to this show that we didn't have in our previous runs, like a lot of dance pieces. Like we added a whole new scene for Jaque that was completely her idea, and that's been really such a fun part of doing this New York City run, is like, just that I feel that every single person in the cast has really brought something to the table, and that's felt so immensely important. And it's just like it's amazing. So yeah, Jaque, can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so to touch on that quick rewind, it was Doug who brought up the dance.
Oh, okay.
And Doug had said it when we kind of solidified everything in a rehearsal. And he mentioned that it was in an idea for the past show, but wasn't necessarily executed. So we wanted to kind of test this round and see with like, so it was, I love it. I'm so honored that we get this opportunity to grow and make the show grow just in those ways too. But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure to give Doug his credit for his idea of having this dance. And
Jaque, you're so thoughtful. That's one thing I really, really like about you, dude. You're always thinking, but like in the positive way. No, I get what you're saying, but I feel like a lot of your thoughts are just very much valid, and that is one of them. Like, you know,
appreciate that.
When you see someone needs their flowers, you give them.
Everyone deserves their flowers. Amen. That's a big thing. I think like everyone deserves their credit, and everyone, especially in this show, everyone has put in a special level of work to commit to this show, or to be a part of this show, or to bring something to this show. So I think like
let alone a lot of people's friends are coming out a lot too. Their friends are coming.
People's friends are traveling.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get your friends to participate in what you got going on. Sometimes. So I think that's very impressive for working with y'all here in New York so far. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's so sweet. Seriously. I appreciate y'all.
And also I just want to say, like, I'm so sorry I didn't like get to jump in and be like, and Sunny's here. So.
No, you're fine. It's Sunny. Sunny has appeared. And then I wish we had a little camera for like Lil and Bordy on the throne. So silly. Love it. No, so on that note with the dance, and these other fun sequences, like your puppet dance that you and Zach really grew, but we like started together as a collaborative process of like, what can we do with this scene? What can we do with this moment of like really making it tell a story, you know? And that was so important, is like, how do we keep telling the story through these pieces of dance? It's not just like, oh, fun dance number, which we love, but also like that's not this kind of show, right? We don't need the big spectacle show, although those are great. We love a good spectacle show.
Technically, we got some good spectacles.
Oh my gosh.
Just ain't in the
You're not wrong.
sense.
Yeah. We got a spectacle or two.
Okay.
But like, the dance part, I would say, is nothing compared to some other spectacles. No, we love the show. And so creating those dances of like, how does this help tell a story, right? So I think with one of the dances, like the puppetry dance, I obviously won't spoil things, but like there's this opportunity to see the push and pull in your relationship with Caleb, you know, and seeing those opportunities of like, or creating a fluid dance moment of like, how can we tell the audience without words, you know, what is it that's drawing Caleb to you on a constant basis? You know, what is it that makes Caleb fully just fall for you no matter what is happening, you know? So that was really important, and I found like really fun to do with you and Zach, and Doug as well, to like collaborate on that, because we started with like just a basic thing during previews, you know, of just like, here's a little standard foundation of like, here's the idea. And then you and Zach over time, like really grew that. And that was so beautiful to see. So like that kind of also goes back to like this whole like learning experience, like to see that you're learning how to also collaborate in these opportunities with other actors or like in the scene work, like that's so professional and like so awesome, you know? So,
I love that. And just to share a little bit more, I forgot to mention this, but Jaque is my only vocal trainer that I've ever had. So I have to give her credit and kudos for that.
Speaking
you guys, I'm working on it. It's getting better, I promise.
Yes. Speaking of hydrating.
Yes, exactly. Water.
Hydration.
So, yes, I wanted to mention that and throw that out there. Thank you so much.
Swedish. Again, like, I don't know. I really live by Kendrick, and I just like to sit down and be humble. Like, I just really
live here. Grace
I'm like, cool things.
Grace.
Cool things. So just curl up in a ball now. Stop. No, but I appreciate it, and it goes back to like the flowers. Like we all deserve the credit, and that's why like it's important that you take pride in like also growing a dance piece, right? It's so stunning. Yeah. I've been having so much fun in this show and getting to like work with you and meet Sunn'e and meet this amazing cast. I'm obsessed with our cast.
Our cast is
I
dope
love
as hell.
everyone in our cast. I just like always wish them the best. I always want to like talk more and more, and I'm like, the show is fast, bye. Like it's time to get on stage. But like we have such a fun time backstage.
Bro, tell
We
them
have
about
fun
you
time
doing
warm-ups.
you and Jackson doing Moulin Rouge backstage. Like, just please give them the visual that you gave me.
Yes, so obviously, as I was saying, we love a good spectacle show. But Moulin Rouge is on the dream list of musicals. Winking for any potential. No. No, but like Moulin Rouge is, yes, right? We're manifesting it. But Moulin Rouge has many beautiful dance numbers, but they have that song Backstage Romance, and it's like that combo of like Lady Gaga and like Toxic, Britney Spears, you know, like it's a good combo.
It
And
is a good combo, sure.
yeah. And Jackson and I both realized, or Jackson plays Chloe in the show, and realized together backstage while like doing makeup that like, wait, we both are obsessed with that show and we're both obsessed with that number. And we were like, wait, you know what's my favorite? We're both like, Backstage Romance! And poor Sunny's in the corner, like, getting ready, like, who are these crazy girls? Just kind of
I grew up doing
into
this,
it.
so it's fun to see other people do it.
I love it.
Oh, this is what they experience.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You definitely were like vibing. Yeah, I didn't think you were scared of us. I think you were more
all the
vibing.
songs with y'all.
Yes, it was dope. Yes, and so yes, we said Backstage Romance, and then we were like, wait, do you know the dance? And Jackson's like, I know the dance, and then Jackson was like, I'm gonna play the song right now, and then like turn it on and like fast forward it to the dance track, and there we go.
Yes.
Boom! I want your love. It was just like instant. So
It was
yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah. So like moments like that. Good little snack sessions. We have some snacks downstairs.
thanks to you.
I know
that's
that's the
right.
mom part again of just like everyone's fed, everyone's
There
hydrated,
you go.
everyone's okay. Yes, yeah.
Oh, you
so
take good care
So
of us.
yeah,
Right.
so Jackie's a number of things in the show, and for my stripper friends out there, Jackie's the house mom of our show as well.
Is
So
that how you call it?
Yeah.
that's what we call it. She's a house mom.
Yes, and one of the pole communities that like I used to dance with, Pole Holly. Now it's like the pod, but Karma is like our director's name, and she would always call them like pole bunnies. Right, so we were little bunnies that would like help clean up or like do the backstage work and stuff. So I definitely like, yes, to the pole peeps have that history too, being a bunny, a mom. Yes, yes, and going into that, I love pole, love aerial. Yes, I got into it during the pandemic, and that was just like one of those unique opportunities. Like I was doing burlesque, or starting some burlesque work, and one of the artists in there was Karma, and she did a phenomenal number, and I was like, I am sold. Like I've seen
what we're saying is the direction of Soulmate is moving into burlesque.
Yes. So what you're hearing is we're new burlesque musical.
Pretty soon we're gonna
spectacle of all sorts.
Yeah, we're gonna need a contortionist.
Obsessed.
That sounds fun.
Here we are. Yes.
Some aerial silks.
Yes.
Definitely wanna
100%. Yes. So on that
You're
note,
like, really, guys? Or
right? Yes. Wink, wink. We're gonna get there.
No, we're gonna get there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Again,
that'd be
back
sick.
to that manifestation. It's all about manifesting it. and taking that action after manifesting it, right?
Amen.
Yeah, so it's I love Poe, I love Ariel. I think it's such a fun opportunity to play and be like a grown-up on a weird playground in its own fun way. I like to be upside down. I like to spin around. It's fun. It's a fun time.
Cirque du Soleil.
Literally.
Soulmate.
Cirque du Soulmate.
That's good.
Sold. Sold. That's it now. Cirque du Soulmate. That's the one. Corbori is sleeping in the corner.
Jackie, with all your your hats that you juggle, which you juggle very well.
Thanks.
Have you ever directed a musical or a play yourself or anything?
Yeah, I've directed a few. Co-directed Elf the Musical Junior.
Oh, cool.
Yes, with Buddy T. Is what we call them, T. And I also have directed or choreographed. I choreographed a lot of kids shows.
Yes.
Like Peter Pan Junior. I music directed for Frozen Junior. Lots of junior shows.
Is that what they call it here on the East Coast? Like call it a junior or what?
There's actually like a certain company like MTI, and they offer them as like something junior or something teen edition, right? Like it's like there's specific scripts that are like licensed to be sold that way.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're all like essentially like one act, very cut down versions, and all the songs are very like cut down but kid friendly.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I've done a lot with kids, and then on a very opposite spectrum, I have like choreographed and taught pole numbers in like both sensuality ways, sexual ways, and contemporary ways, ballet-esque, like all sorts of genres, teaching adult dance as well. And then I've choreographed the Rocky Horror Show a couple of times and played like Columbia, and like it's a very different spectrum of choreography and fun, but like I love all of it. Like I make the joke of like daytime I'm like Miss Jaque, and then like nighttime I'm like Miss Jaque, like rah, yeah. So it's like
Jackie if you nasty.
Miss Jaque if you nasty. That's the one. Yes. So yeah, that's like I don't know, kind of that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving you out of your comfort zone of that, what kind of films do you want to do film actually?
I've done a couple films. I've done a few TV things, a few little Netflix things. I was a background for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, season 1, episode 4. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I made it that far.
Oh my god, I love
did not make it
it.
this far,
There's
too.
a moment, my grandma's very proud of it. She replays it for all her friends. It's a moment where like the camera is panning and it's like a restaurant scene. It's like doing this, right? And then there's a moment, there I am with my glass sipping, and my grandma, she'll replay it for all her friends over and over. She's like, this is my granddaughter, and I'm like, grandma,
Is that on your reel? Like background work?
Dude, I need to make a reel, and if anyone's out there willing to help me make a reel,
Girl.
so here's my issue,
I can help you make a reel.
If we want to
Yeah, that's what we're here
let's do it.
for.
Okay, deal,
Yeah.
deal. Like, here's my issue is real talk to the artists out there. Insecurities kick in, right?
Yeah, same.
I will film the same number like way too many times, and then I'll watch them all over and over and have a reason that everyone else will like roll their eyes. Like I'll be like, oh, my elbow was in a wrong angle, or like, oh my god, I'm slouching too much, or like,
Some of that's your image.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it goes into body dysmorphia, which I've had for a very long time, and I've experienced quite a few like eating disorders in the past, and really, and I advocate for folks to eat in their way that feels best, and non-judgmental.
But still be healthy about it. That's the
Yeah.
part people don't say. It's like, do what you want, but be healthy about it at least.
Yeah. Like there's parameters, and then there's also like I follow some Instagrams that are really amazing and talking about like how families may not be able to afford fresh fruit and vegetables, but how are you able to still compensate and like keep yourself fueled, right? I think a big thing too is
learning to plant.
Yeah, and I think a big one too is like I look at food as fuel,
It is
not
fuel,
as
for
necessarily like side things.
things.
Stay
Leisure
fueled.
and-
Yeah, and that goes with dance and it goes with acting too. Like our bodies are so important, and we use them way more than we expect. Especially in this show, it feels like in some components it's a simple stand-up show, right? Like we're doing movements, but we're also not kicking our faces for 2 hours straight. But like there's still so much to our bodies and the energy that is important in this show. The energy and the experiences that are in this show require a lot of mental and like almost energetical. I don't know the right word for it, but like spiritual, you know, like it requires a lot of that energy as the characters, even in these like, I'm sure like as Sunn'e can attest to, like we have shorter scenes, we're more in those featured or supporting roles, and in those it still requires that downpour of like energy. Yeah, it still requires 1,000% of that spirituality and that what's the word, like passion to the show, or the urgency,
the belief in the show.
Yeah, 100%. So going back full circle too, I love that our cast also shares that and also wants to express that. And
they also, certain
aspects,
I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yes. We're all no, I appreciate it. No, you're so right. It's like I appreciate when the cast. She keeps it real.
Okay, that's always keeps it real.
Sunn'e is the ray of sunshine.
I understand.
Yeah, no,
I really do.
No, I fully agree though. And I appreciate you saying it. It's like, I think when they do, right, when everyone does put in that effort, it's like so stunning.
It's
and
amazing.
The show drives with a new electricity, you know, under it. It causes that like experience. So that's my ramble of like energy, and it's not a physically draining show, but at the same time it's like mentally and emotionally draining. And the
with
content,
that being said,
please, as you can tell, I'm rambling away.
Just know that the show is intended to open your mind. Period. But in the best way possible, to get the answers to the questions you may have had forever and never knew who to ask, how to ask, or if it was ever a thought in somebody else's head. Which 9 times out of 10 it always is. But our show is definitely a mind opener, and it's sometimes challenging. Again, like I said, I get everyone, you know, we all have our own lives. Sometimes it's challenging because of the energetic pull that it requires, just a little bit. We are doing some passionate stuff, but that's just the work of art, period. Anything. You could be painting and still, you know, that's what breaks are for. That's what moments for yourself are for. So
100%, I agree. And I feel like I'm a firm believer that art should make you think. Theater should also, like, yes, there are shows that make you like, yes, obsessed. And then there are shows that are like, oh my God, I have to reflect my life choices.
No, seriously.
Like, well, the like, just not being like giving away anything. Again, no spoilers. We don't want a spoiler. We don't need a spoiler. You gotta come see the show to get the goods. And to get the spectacle. Back to that spectacle. But this show does touch on grief. This show does touch on like nudity and self-expression and sexual expression and sensual expression, and the difference between sexual and sensual. And it's just very it's very eye-opening, and it causes, like you said, conversation in unique areas that
it goes through the 5 stages of grief. Period. The 5 stages, all of them. The denial, you know, all that. That's
something that like I love tying in with going into like Dakota. You know, like Dakota's role. Not again, no spoilers. Dakota's role is very in the middle phase of grief of trying. You know, it it really confronts realism, right? And I think I love that about Dakota, is she kind of brings some realism to this spectacle. I don't know why every time I say it, I'm gonna go spectacle.
I love it.
It's gonna be on repeat now. Spectacle.
That's how you get it in someone's brain, they'll start remembering.
Yeah.
Get it in your body?
Huh?
So you get it in your body, it stays in your brain.
Exactly. Now it's a spectacle. My brain is a spectacle. But it's you know, like touching on that, I really appreciate that role and how it kind of does confront on that part of the content, right? In the levels of things that this show does kind of touch on, Dakota definitely brings that realism and that opportunity for you to kind of take in some things and reflect on some personal experiences. So that's really special to me that I get to be a part of that and kind of help audiences feel, you know? And that's something that's so important in theater, going back to that of it's so important to just feel in theater, whether it is feeling emotions or feeling like scared, feeling emotions, but feeling excited or feeling scared or feeling questionable, fearful, like anxious, like all of it, just no matter what, as long as you're feeling something, I feel like you've the show has done something, you know. It's important for people to leave feeling anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly,
Yes.
it's been so incredible. We had a member from our audience that wanted our phone number. They stayed during the talkback.
Whose number?
They were so moved. Doug's.
Okay, I was like, not mine. I'm not kidding.
And they just wanted to share, you know, they felt like they were supported by us, and that's so meaningful that we can do that for our audience. Like, we're opening up just so many channels and like so much vulnerability. I believe as a team, as a cast, like how passionate we all are and how spiritual we all are, and that it's giving us a safe haven for people that don't have someone to talk to about, you know, those types of topics and things.
Yeah. And then to tie in with that, I do feel like this show has a very unique wave of like emotional component to like whoa my brain to emotional, whoa my brain. And honestly, like I feel like that's a unique flow of the main character of Caleb, of like he's feeling emotions, whoa my brain, something's going down, feeling emotions, whoa something's going down. And it's just this kind of amazing, it's a unique flow that I think is really fun to play with in the show, of us between emotions and, I wouldn't say like weirdness, but things that people are afraid to confront sensually and sexually, you know. And again, not to spoil anything, but like we very much touch base on areas that maybe, I wouldn't say scare people, but cause conversation or cause that like WTF moment, but oh snap moment of like, why is this affecting me? Why does this make me feel this way? And that's really important in art. Yeah.
I mean, I think the goal of like Soulmate for Doug and I is really to open up people's hearts and open up people's, you know, thinking about having like just pure and honest communication, whether it be with yourself, whether it be with your friends, your family, like all relationships. All relationships.
Yeah, exactly. No. Speaking of relationships, it's been so fun getting to work with you though. And getting to like rebuild this friendship, you know, it's been so fun. And getting to know people like Sunn'e. I'm obsessed with Sunn'e. I'm obsessed. I'm one of Sunny's biggest fans, without a doubt.
Goodness,
I'm saying that directly to the camera.
I'm one of yours, period.
Huh?
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Stop.
Oh, for sure.
Stop.
Yeah.
Again, stop. I'm humble.
Girl, you
no,
do it
no.
very, very well. You hold it very well. Seriously.
Thank you. No, Sunny's been inspiring with like her energy and her freaking input. I love it.
Good
her honesty.
Realness.
Yeah, she brings the honesty, but with positivity.
Love. It's always from a place of love.
It's always from a place of love, and that's so important. And I think just, especially in a show like this, because there's WTF moments, right? There's these moments of like questionable what's happening, that I think it's so important to have a cast and team that is supportive and positive, because again, we're experiencing these very vulnerable situations, and it's good to have a cast that is honest and positive. And so it's been so nice to have people like Sunn'e in this show, and working with Sunn'e and you, Shannon, as well, of just like having fun but trusting each other and being able to be vulnerable and like not question it one bit, you know. That's it's so important in a cast and in a show. Yeah,
I love this team so much, you guys. This is, for me, I'm like, this is like the Powerpuff Girls.
That's what we said.
Doug's Professor X, and you know, and then we got us.
And then which one would I be?
feel that.
Who's who?
Oh, I'm Blossom.
I feel
and
that.
She's Buttercup.
I 100% feel that. I'm ready to be your bubbles.
On the day
Yes.
of who I am. Let's just be honest. I'm Buttercup, but I love me a good bubbles moment. Like,
Yes.
what?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I gotta bring my shoes, but I got the Buttercup edition Nikes, and I have never worn them yet. But I got them like last year, or maybe the year before. Oh my god. Yeah. But
Those
I tried
gotta
them.
be fucking cute.
They're stunning. I'll have to bring them. But like, yeah, they're like the Buttercup green with like her eyes on the back. It's so cool. It's so interesting. But like, I was obsessed. I was like Powerpuff Girls. I also tried to get Bubbles and Blossom, but they like gone. It's like, dang. Everyone loves
Powerpuff
Girls.
dude.
Dude, you know, growing up, I just loved all of them. I wanted to be like all of them in a certain way. Like I would change it up with different friend groups. Like some friends, I had blonde curly hair growing up, right? So it was like, oh, I'd be Bubbles all the time because I would be typecast as my friends. But like, I also then would love to be Blossom because she was such a leader. And I also wanted to be Buttercup because Buttercup was like cool and rebellious and like, I'm not going to do that. And I just like loved all three of them. Yes.
Love her.
So 100%.
So I have another question, like tying back to Soulmates. So
Yes.
I want to know about your relationship with Dakota. Like, how has that been unfolding? What are the techniques? Like, I just want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. When I auditioned, so originally I got called back for both readings of Dakota and Willow, and I found love for both of them without a doubt. But I really fell in love with Dakota. Again, going back to that like realism, I really felt this connection I have from my own personal experiences, being that person of not necessarily being the other girl who like wants to get a dude or something, but like oh wait, we should cut that. That's a spoiler. I remember. No spoilers.
You're so silly.
I'm ruining this podcast. What?
Shut up.
Why did you say that?
She says the craziest things.
Yeah,
That's all right. You're gonna have the best podcast now because I say the weirdest things and get awkward. So it's gonna be entertaining content. Okay, but yes, on that.
You're so silly, girl.
On that note, Dakota, I have been in those positions where you are the support of people grieving, and you are the support of helping them, yes, grieve, and yes, feel the feels, and yes, be there in those moments for them, but also how do you make sure that they are capable of living their life, and how are they able to move forward in a healthy way, right? And I felt such a connection to that in this script that I really was like, I'll go for it. I'll go for both, but like, let's see what happens. And I don't know, it worked out. Doug cast me as that, and it was a time. So yeah, I did still read for Willow, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
I felt a connection to that as well, but I think Nicolette kills it, like in the best way. Nicolette's great.
Amazing.
I love her.
For sure.
And also, I feel like, I don't know, I think just the connection to the lines with Dakota and that scene, I just really felt like maybe there's a stronger calling in the moment, and that was really special. So yeah, so with that being said, I felt connected there. I, technique-wise, really went into that Meisner mode of like telling the truth in imaginary circumstances, and just really working on being truthful in the moments and being truthful with this character, and making sure that Dakota is seen as the light that she deserves to be seen as. I do think Dakota's a very interesting character to play because I've gotten to really build up her background. I was like building from the ground up. What is her job? Who is she? Where does it all go? Etc. etc. So, I know we're gonna have to wrap up. So,
I wonder, that was not your business to tell. You finished talking about Jaque and what she's doing and how she's contributing, how she likes the Dakota bro. You finished that.
This is why we love Sunn'e. This is why we love Sunn'e.
We
love Sunn'e.
Yeah, she is. Don't worry about that other stuff.
I just want to respect everyone's time too.
Exactly.
So I don't want to like.
We love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to touch a little bit about that because so originally when I was thinking about casting Jaque for the role, I had basically asked her to do like a videotape audition like as Willow. So just a little bit of history there, because when I had invited Jaque to Soulmate and had told Doug, brought it up to Doug, I was like, I think we have like the perfect person to add in. I think it's Jaque. And I was like, I think that she would be good for the Willow scene. I was like, in my mind, what was going on in my mind was I was like, Jaque is such a strong performer. And I feel like, and this is like a huge compliment because I'm like obsessed. I'm obsessed with Idina Menzel. Obsessed with her. I was obsessed with her in Rent. Like Rent is like
head. Shannon is a Rent head.
I'm a Rent head. I became a pole dancer because of Rent.
Obsessed. Mimi Marquez is such an inspo. We love Mimi and Maureen.
I just wanted to be a pole dancer entertaining in New York City, living the broke artist bohemian life.
Without the AIDS.
Exactly, but we're doing that. I mean, we're doing that right now. We're having our moment. But, but basically, in my mind, I was like, Jaque is like such a strong performer, like Idina Menzel. I could just see her character doing the Willow scene, which is a very like moo with me scene. So I just wanted to share with our audience, like that's what I had on my mind when it came to Jaque. But I'm really glad that you know that things turned out the way that they are. That we have Nicolette playing Willow. And
100%. And gosh, Willow, that character is so fun too. Like to tie in with that, it does require such a strong performance and such a powerful, passionate performance and such a unique character. Again, it goes with that like woo moment of like realism to like what, and she like really brings in this fun vibe of both, like moments where she does feel real and some moments where she feels kind of wild, and I think Nicolette is crushing it. But like, yes, when you called and said that about Willow, I was like, I'm so excited. And then Shannon sent me the script and I was like, I'm so excited to audition. Oh my god, like the idea of being in a show with you was like, wait a second, is this not the wildest full circle moment? You know? So cool. I was very excited. And then when Doug brought up Dakota, it was like a unique little plot twist, but definitely one of those things that was like, this will be fun. I feel a connection. So I'm, again, like you said too, Nicolette is rushing in. I can't wait for everyone to meet Nicolette.
I think that the something I wanted to share with the audience too is that like we did do during some of our rehearsals where Nicolette read as Dakota and then Jaque read as Willow. And I thought that was like so inspiring and strong, because to recognize and see like the skills of what each person brings to their character or to a new character, I felt like really strengthened the performances for both of you as actresses. Like, because you could kind of see like the difference, and then it kind of helped the direction that Doug and Zombie were bringing as well, that like, okay, like we really like, you know, these aspects that this person brings to Willow. Like, how can we kind of create like the strongest character based with that?
Right. No, I very much, I think that's also, it goes into like how you were saying of like starting up in theater, right? That's a great example in certain acting classes where, you know, people will read different scenes or switch up the roles to see each other's style or each other's choices and see like, what is this person bringing to this character? So it was definitely a unique opportunity in the rehearsals, but like very much a learning experience again. And like goes back to, like you said, of just seeing each other's work and seeing each other's choices and not necessarily copying anything, but feeling that inspiration of like, oh, interesting how they took it in this perspective, or like how they took that line this way. And that's always so fun. And so I'm glad you got to like see and enjoy that.
It's been a huge learning experience. I love it so much.
I know. Like, how has it been for you as like, and in New York and doing all of this? Like, how are you feeling?
So stimulated, but but I'm gonna go ahead and like wrap us up.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So
thank you for your time.
So thank you guys so much for watching another episode. You know, learning more about how our journey here in New York City has been unfolding. This is Jaque Jeanne. She's amazing friend of mine.
She's the sweetest. Shannon's so sweet.
Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you. To close it out, would you like any sour?
Oh my gosh, I love it. We're gonna hang out after this.
Yes, party.